Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Geeky Leaks podcast. I am Liam.
And I'm Josh.
And this week has been pretty interesting.
Like always.
Like always. I know we all say that. I never think of a better intro, man. That's
I know. That's how she goes.
There's like a lot of weird stuff this week, though. Like Face ID is apparently like not
super
working.
broken.
Apparently it's like not working, which it was,
Surprise, surprise.
which I
guess kind of a surprise.
don't know. Like Samsung's got broken really fast.
True.
And then Apple's is admittedly better.
Yeah.
But it still got broken really fast.
I mean,
it's okay.
We'll
talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, we'll elaborate.
It's not really broken, but
You'll see.
It's not broken, but you can break it.
You'll see.
That's what I'll say. Nvidia video card rumors. Apparently, Volta might not be a thing yet. Maybe we'll see. And yeah, and so of course some more Intel rumors. So let's start off with the Intel stuff.
Yeah.
So, in case you guys haven't heard, there's been rumors about Z390 for a while, which kind of sounds weird because it's like almost like a combination of like, X99, X299 because the 90 thing.
True.
And then Z because,
Z series, yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing we really have right now, this is the first kind of actual like concrete, like this is actually probably a thing, was on the SciSoft database. There was a mention of a Supermicro Z390 motherboard. Mm-hmm. And it's actually listed in there. Now, there's some specs about the CPU. It says that it's 12 threads and 92 watts and stuff, which is fine. But I, like, looking at this clock speed, I don't think it's definitely, like, a pre-production sample of some kind. It's not an actual, like, released product. But apparently Z390 is apparently actually a thing. So I think that, although this is just me speculating, this is probably, a bit of a response to Ryzen.
True.
But also, B, they basically have to change their naming scheme because they can't use X399.
True.
Like, they can't.
So.
I mean, I guess maybe legally they could, but for all intents and purposes, they cannot. So, I think this might be other. But the other thing is, from what we've heard in rumors, is that it's only supposed to have up to 8 cores on it, which is still awesome for a mainstream CPU.
Yeah. That's
not a complaint. It's just that it's not like the 18-core behemoth that the X299 platform is. So we'll have to see. One of the other things that's actually not in this article that I was reading somewhere else where they were talking about Z390 was 8-core CPUs, but also this is still apparently going to be socket 1151, but okay, right now we have Coffee Lake, right? So this is where it gets confusing. So we have Coffee Lake. What is Coffee Lake? Coffee Lake is Kaby Lake Refresh.
Yep.
That's all it is.
They just give it a new name.
It's just Coffee Lake Refresh. It's Coffee Lake, or it's Kaby Lake with more cores.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And like a slightly more optimized process, but that's all it is. This one is supposed to be Cannon Lake, the actual next generation thing.
Yep.
But the thing that I'm almost more excited for, other than 8 cores, is this chipset is apparently supposed to be one of the first ones with integrated Wi-Fi AC in the chipset.
That's cool.
And integrated Thunderbolt in the chipset.
Okay.
So
I would definitely be down for Thunderbolt on PCs, finally.
Yeah. Well, and Thunderbolt is in like, it's not an add-on chip or an add-in card. It's just in the chipset. If you have this chipset, you got Thunderbolt.
So I guess technically we could see Thunderbolt on mainstream boards now.
Yeah. And we're also going to see Wi-Fi.
Or enthusiast boards, I guess.
Well,
probably the higher end stuff, I imagine.
Well, we already do see Thunderbolt on a lot of the higher end stuff. The problem is that it adds a lot of cost because you have to actually put on a separate chip for Thunderbolt that's expensive.
Right, whereas
this would be, if you have Z390 chipset, it's in the chipset.
Yeah.
Much like they're saying Wi-Fi AC is apparently built in there as well. So, like,
Sweet.
If you have a Z390 motherboard, you have Wi-Fi AC.
Okay.
Like, it's just, even at the cheapest one.
I'd be actually happy to see Thunderbolt on mainstream computers, finally.
Yeah. And
other than Macs.
I would be stoked to get a, like, $120-ish, $150-ish Z390 board.
Yeah.
Where you can still overclock even if it's not insane.
Yeah.
But, like, I just want Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But I don't want to buy a $250, $300 motherboard just for Wi-Fi.
Yep. Like, all the boards will have it now.
Which is also sweet. So I feel like this is actually, like, if we can get an 8-core with like Thunderbolt and Wi-Fi, I feel like that's a pretty compelling upgrade, even for somebody on like a, maybe not like a Skylake or a Kaby Lake, but certainly if you're on like Haswell or older, I would say that's pretty compelling.
Yep,
for sure.
Like it's a decent jump now.
Because now you're gonna get double your cores plus like your Wi-Fi and everything. So this looks like it's pretty cool. We're gonna report on it more as it comes out. But the one thing we pretty much do know for sure is Z390 is pretty much confirmed.
Yeah, like at this point.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be following that more. But
oh yeah,
more cores better. All right, moving on. So. This next one is regarding Face ID, Apple's facial recognition technology.
Which everybody kind of predicted it would be broken reasonably soon. I just I don't know. It seemed pretty compelling when I saw most people try and break it at least easily. This is a little bit more elaborate, so
Yeah, this isn't. It's not quite as simple as like, like with Samsung's one where it was like print out a picture, put contacts on picture, unlock phone.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, so I wouldn't like freak out just yet. It does require definitely quite a bit of handiwork.
Yeah.
But it can be done.
It basically looks like they made a paper mache mask of some kind. They basically took out like they have a silicone nose apparently that they replicated, I guess, of the person's nose, and then literally just pictures of their eyes and mouth.
Yeah, go back up to the top here.
And that's all they needed. I mean, it's a mask of the person's face, so obviously it has the same facial like contours and stuff. So that probably is what really tricked it.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that it's seeing the person's eyes and nose too, probably.
And I think they said they used they put like makeup on it. They really like went all out to kind of
cover it,
like accentuate those few things they put on it to
Yeah.
make it look like the person. So it's not like necessarily a simple hack, but like realistically, if you were determined enough, you could do this.
Yeah. Like, this is probably not a hack that the average person is going to see pretty much ever.
And I don't know if they specifically state in the article, but I think this would be more of like, like if you were, say, like certainly if you were like in the position of like a president, but even if, maybe if you're like a senator or just somebody that is somewhat relevant in, a government position or something,
there is a quote
you might reconsider.
There is a quote right here that just says, I don't know where the quote's from, but it says potential targets should not be regular users, but billionaires, leaders of major corporations.
There we go. Yeah.
Nation leaders and agents like FBI need to understand that, like, the Face ID issues kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, there it is down there. So I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Like, those are the people that would be targeted. But people like me and you and this guy here, like, we would be fine. I don't really, like, nobody's going to go through that much trouble. Nobody cares that much about us.
Buddy with an iPhone down the street doesn't have to worry about this hack.
Yeah. But, Donald Trump
Maybe.
might not want to use facial recognition just yet.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, do your thing, but I wouldn't. Give it another couple gens.
As long as you're not the president of our country.
Yeah, give it another couple gens. Are you the head of the NSA? Maybe don't use this. I don't know. Or do it. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
But
funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so there was a rumor about Nvidia. It's more specifically about Volta cards, which is Volta's not coming out next year.
Very much rumored.
Or this is all rumored. Like, we don't even really have a lot of details. This is actually like super light on details. I'm piecing together a lot of the stuff kind of based on what I know from Nvidia's past in release cycles and what they've done the last few years. So basically, the whole rumor started when a site from the site's called like Heis or Heis. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it correctly, but
see if I can find it here.
But it's in sorry, that
link
there. But basically, all that article talks about is right at the end is that apparently somebody got wind and got word that Nvidia's new GPUs will be called Ampere.
Yeah.
Ampere.
Ampere.
I'm going with Ampere, but it might be Ampere. But anyway, apparently that's going to be the next generation of Nvidia GPUs, and Volta will not be it, or at least Volta might not be coming to us like mainstream consumers.
Right. Might just be the the V100 that we talked about.
Yeah, and so I think there's kind of really two sides to this. One of which is and this kind of more my personal opinion, which would be I think Volta is coming to consumers personally because much like what they did with Pascal, they had the P100 for supercomputers and high density servers and stuff.
Yep.
And then we had GTX 1080 and 1070 and
exactly.
Pascal. Enjoy, everybody.
So it's really just kind of like, it seems like they're just going to do the same thing.
Yeah, because they already have V100.
Exactly.
So I'd imagine then it'll just become like V104 and
Yep.
V110 or
Yep.
V102 or whatever they want to call it. But
exactly.
Something like that. Or the other side of this coin where I could honestly potentially see this, but I think it's more of a stretch. Which I was saying to you earlier is, so okay, it's not Volta. They don't do Volta yet. But what if they did, because they're using 12 nanometer instead of 16?
Yep.
And we know that Samsung's already announced GDDR6 memory to be ready for the beginning of next year in Q1. What if it's Pascal, which, if you guys all remember, is basically Maxwell with a lower process node and higher clocks. What if it's Pascal on, again, a better node with higher clocks and GDDR6?
Okay.
It could be. I could be wrong.
I could see that.
But I could maybe see that. As long as the clock speed is high enough or they're able to cram more cores onto it and the performance is better, I don't really see any reason why they couldn't. And frankly, I mean, shouldn't. If the performance is better, I don't care what they call it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I mean, they could just trick us at that point.
But on the other hand, at that point, it would probably be a third year for a generation of NVIDIA GPUs to stick around, which is completely unheard of. In fact, even like having Pascal around for 2 years is one of the longest. I think the only other one that's as long has been around as long or almost as long as Pascal was Maxwell.
I was gonna say I don't think it was Kepler or Fermi.
Actually, it might have been Kepler. I'm thinking of.
Is it? 'Cause I don't remember.
Actually, yes, it was Kepler because Kepler was announced in like the spring, like GTC of 2012.
Right.
And then
I
Maxwell
remember,
didn't come out until fall 2014.
I do remember
so that was the only other one that was around for like more than 2 years.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt Pascal, like being called Pascal, is going to be around for 3 years. So, and I mean, again, like Pascal is essentially still Maxwell.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, I personally think it's going to be... They might call it Ampere, but I think it's going to be like Volta, like the new generation. I don't think it's going to be just another kind of refresh at that point. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of like processors and stuff, though, so Qualcomm's making like huge like socketed CPUs for servers. Now, these are still ARM CPUs, so
which I don't get.
But they have their applications. I mean, they're making them for a reason. Somebody's going to use them for something. I don't really know what specific applications ARM would use, other than something that is A, heavily multi-threaded because this thing's 46 cores, and B, runs on ARM. So, I mean, maybe like a database, but I honestly am not sure. I really don't know. They're comparing these against Skylake and Broadwell Xeons from Intel. And the specs are up here, so you guys can make of this what you will. But, you know, here you go. So you got a 20-core 40-thread and a 24-core 48-thread. The Qualcomm one doesn't have hyperthreading, so it's just 46 cores, which for me is a weird number. But it is what it is. The one thing that is nice about it is the clock speed is higher, and it's a consistent speed. So Intel, you know, they always have their base and their boost.
Yeah.
Theirs is just 2.5 gigs. There you go.
It just runs.
Which is crazy, because to put that in perspective, I'm going to pull this up for a sec here. I have in this thing what is it? This is a Snapdragon 805. This is actually a 4-core at 2.5 gigs, I believe.
So they just basically put it on steroids and gave it all the cores.
Yeah, now I'm assuming it's probably running on a newer architecture than that.
Yeah,
but it's essentially taking 46 of those cores and throwing it on here. And there is some benchmarks. These are absolutely meaningless for the rest of us here running like regular desktops. But what it does show is that for anything that can utilize this processor in a multi-threaded scenario, Intel's in some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only is this thing a lot faster when it can be utilized properly, the TDP is 50 watts less.
Yeah, there you go. That says it all.
And it's not mentioned in here. I think it's actually in the original Cloudflare article, which is right in here. But I'm pretty sure they're also cheaper by like a decent amount.
It looks like basically this processor is kind of like destroying in compression performance. That's what it looks like. Like anything the compression-wise, like, yeah. It just looks like it destroys in compression.
Yeah, like anything they can actually use all 46 of those cores, it just crushes in. But, of course, you know, then you go look at single-threaded and it's a joke. Exactly.
So we'll really see how this kind of gets implemented in different situations. But I feel like anything that's just going to be, like, heavily, I think database is the same thing I'm thinking.
Now, if they can do compression, I wonder if it would be really good for streaming.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
I don't know.
Just like,
you're
just uncompressing a video.
Because I wonder if, like, Netflix would buy these.
Then again, they'd probably have to have two different servers because, like, one would do the compression and uncompression, and then the other one would probably do the actual streaming itself.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really know. That's like, maybe when you guys is laughing at me right now, being like, oh, Netflix. I don't know, man. I'm throwing it out there, you know. Like, I really don't. I just thought this was cool because, you know, this year we had AMD come out with Epic, which is like a really B CPU.
True.
And I've never seen anybody other than, well, I guess IBM, obviously, but other than IBM and AMD, I haven't seen anybody ever compete with Intel on anything. So it's kind of cool to just see Qualcomm be like, yeah, we can do it too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of cool. But anyway, something a little bit more relatable for the rest of us.
Craziness.
Yeah. You guys see that? That's
crazy.
the Sapphire Nitro Vega 64.
Oh.
And I'm going to scroll down so you can see it. Some pictures here. I'm going to actually like click on them in all their glory.
In all their glory.
Look at this thing.
3 8-pins. It's got 3 8-pins. Like, holy jeez, the power is nuts.
I'm almost just more about like...
I love how they cut out the backplate for the actual mount for the CPU cooler. Or for the GPU cooler.
I just like the way these fins look. Like, I think this here is like their vapor chamber.
Right.
And then you've got... See how dense these fins are? Look at that.
Yeah, that's like an actual heatsink with the P pipes going through it.
Oh, it's so good.
Interesting. I didn't even notice that.
It's so good. Like, this thing is just Like,
is it actually supposed to have a vapor chamber on it?
yeah, most of their previous ones have had vapor chambers. Before they used to call it in like the 290X and 390X days, they called it Vapor X. But I think that the Fury and the Vega still continue having the vapor chamber. Just now, it's just Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
But just if you're gonna buy like a top end, you know how like we drew over like a Kingpin or something.
Yeah.
Like this is like pretty much the AMD equivalent. Like this thing is just sure. Like if you want the best Vega 64, you're pretty much looking at it. Aside from maybe the Strix, maybe. But like if you really want to push Vega, this is pretty much the one.
Because this is Sapphire, so this is really like AMD's go-to for manufacturing video cards.
EVGA is to Nvidia what Sapphire is to AMD.
Exactly. So if you're gonna buy an AMD card, I'd probably go Sapphire over Asus personally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is like the one. The only reason why you might not consider this card is, and I'll go back to this picture, is it is 2.5 slot. It's freaking wide. Like it's huge.
Yeah.
You know.
Another thing that's interesting. Sorry. Another thing that's kind of interesting to point out about it is they got a different I/O layout than most video cards right now.
Yep, true.
2 display ports, 2 HDMI's, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. I know it's going to piss some people off.
Because usually it's 3 display ports right now, right?
Yeah, because now you can't do surround triple monitor FreeSync.
Right, because there's not enough display ports.
Yeah,
true.
So that's one unfortunate thing. One other cool thing with this card is, though, this card is so heavy, like physically heavy, that Sapphire is shipping a PCI Express support bracket with this card.
Good.
That's how beastly this thing is.
Like, wow, that's funny.
Like
at this point, most of them should come with one because they're all pretty large cards now.
True, but Sapphires, they're like, because most of the other manufacturers, I feel like, are just kind of like in denial about it. Like, nah, it'll be fine. Sapphire's like, no, like
it's too heavy. Like,
here you go. Like,
that's funny. So,
this thing, it's just awesome. Anytime I see a Sapphire Nitro, I'm just always like, yes, like this thing is just, oh. But yeah, unfortunately, none of these custom cards are available yet. There's more, like, I'll go back down really quickly here. There's pictures of, like, the Asus Strix one down here. There's the Gigabyte one. Mm-hmm. The FXX one looks stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does look kind of dumb,
It looks really stupid. Like,
it's large.
I'm sorry, if you guys like it, cool. And by all means, I'm not here to tell you to...
It looks okay.
I don't think it looks nice at all.
It looks okay.
That's just my opinion, obviously.
I have to get it in my hands, I think.
You know what it looks like? Remember the older Asus Strix cards that tried to look like an owl?
Yeah.
It looks like that, but more stupid.
I can't argue. I was going to say, I like the Strix design, so...
I like the Strix one because the fans were black.
Right.
And they had, like, the red centers in the eyes, so it looked like an eye.
Yeah, true.
This is just red fan blades.
True.
It's like a circus.
It's like a circus.
Like I don't know.
What is this, a circus XFX? Like, what's going on?
It looks better
here?
from the back. Like, on the back, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's on the front. It just... I don't know. Yeah. That's just me. Because they did with this one, they did the short PCB. So the circuit board ends here.
But the cooler's huge.
The cooler, this is all cooler. Like, see, there's no circuit board there.
Yeah, true.
Which means it probably will cool it really well.
True.
But I would imagine this thing sags. Like,
well, sagging a little there, bud.
Carl sagging. Like, it's going to probably be bad, but anyways, yeah, we're still waiting for these cards to actually get out. Like, there's no custom Vega cards you can buy yet.
Yeah.
Which really sucks.
They're on their way, though.
They're on their way. They're coming.
So.
But it's just the timing is...
At
least they can't get here soon enough.
At least they're going to release, like, some beast cards when they release them.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
Like, people are going to be drilling over... I guarantee you this Fury Nitro, or the Vega Nitro here, somebody's going to get this and throw it under LN2 right away, and it's going to be ridiculous. Because at least you can power the thing.
It's like, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. At least they can power it with 3 8-pins.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen any of the power stuff from Vega?
Not really, actually. Like, I know it's, like, beast, but...
I have never seen a video card take more power.
Is it really that much?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
under full load, how much is it taking?
We'll look it up after this.
Okay.
So you can see the exact numbers, but, like
hundreds of watts just to itself?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Like
oh, yeah.
300 watts plus?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Like, way more.
Holy damn.
Like 450 watts.
For one card?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, we'll see. I'll go look at it after this, but...
Wow, I didn't realize it was that much.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it was like a power hog, but like 450 watts a card?
Yeah, for the liquid cooled one, if you overclock it, it'll like take like good 400 watts. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's most systems.
Yeah.
Like, holy
Like, you could
fuck.
have a 7700K and a 1080 Ti, and it would take slightly more power.
Like, I'm pretty sure my system overall, overclocked, consumes less power than that one card does. That's insanity.
Oh, yeah.
Holy damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, so let's get into the gaming stuff. So, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I know there's a lot of controversy around this game right now. And
obviously,
honestly,
it's a huge EA game. Of course there's going to be controversy.
And EA, you know what? They do the things they do.
Yeah.
And I don't even... we could both go off.
Oh, we're about to go off on them again for what they just did in this stupid game. Anyway, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah. I just mostly wanted to do this because it's the performance of it, so you guys can have an idea of how it runs.
We'll talk about the bullshit thing after.
Well, it's the first thing, so let's just scroll down.
All right.
So people have been trying to benchmark this game. I'm assuming other reviewers have run into this as well, but basically, Guru 3D, the issue they ran into was after they swapped out about 4 or 5 cards, they get this error message, which basically says, too many computers have accessed this account's version of the game, and then they get locked out for 24 hours.
It's like, what?
So basically, like, too many they swapped out the video card. It's not even like they, like, okay, if you swapped out, like, the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, and the video card, then okay, I mean,
they're doing
I
benchmarks.
guess. But like, they didn't even change the whole system. They just changed one thing.
Like
if I put in 5 different hard drives, is this gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
it's silly.
So anyway, let's look at some 1080p results. Regardless, basically, if you have an RX 470, you can max this game at 1080p, which is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's actually not bad.
And like, it runs at over 80 FPS.
And it makes sense that they would have some decent performance with it too, because it's like.
And just clarification, in case you guys are wondering why there's zeros here, that's literally because they're locked out and they haven't updated the article yet.
Exactly. So they got to those cards and then they couldn't even test it anymore.
So which is kind of stupid. But yeah, you can like definitely run this game on pretty modest hardware. I mean, this is on Ultra too. Keep that in mind. So this is like to the wall maxed. So I mean, like if you had something like, let's say you had, I don't know, like a 960 instead of the 970 or even the 980.
Yeah.
Just put it on high.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fine.
Max it.
Yeah.
Even at 1440p, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, so let's take a quick peek over at 1440, and 4K obviously, guys, get a 1080 at least because it's 4K. But,
yeah, exactly.
But even at 1440p, I mean, like if you want more than 60 FPS, like a 480 still gets 59.
Yep.
So I mean, that's pretty reasonable.
That's your minimum too, I think, is it? Oh no, that's the average.
That's the average.
But
so,
still.
I mean, it's playable.
Around 60, which is.
I mean,
it's solid.
You have a 1070, so I mean, you would have no problem maxing this thing. Like 79 average.
Yeah, like max at 1440. Is that anti-aliasing too?
I don't know. It's whatever Ultra preset.
It's also using DX12. Keep that in mind.
Fair.
Is it always using DX12, or can you choose?
I think you can toggle it. I'm pretty
okay.
sure you can.
I don't want to. I mean, I'd imagine DX12 performs better, but.
From what I've read in this game, it actually apparently doesn't. Or
really?
Apparently, it's this. I don't know. I think it was. It was either. I think it was Joker, and he was doing benchmarking on this, and he was saying like DX12 and DX11 are roughly the same performance, but for some reason DX12 seems to have some weird stuttering issues.
Right. Okay. So you might be better off using DX11 right now.
Basically, like if you're running DX11, it's going to be at least this, if not potentially even slightly better. So, yeah, I would say this actually, like, considering how good this game looks.
Yeah, it does look.
There is no complaints here about performance. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like you really can't complain. So.
Like some of the modded screenshots from when this thing was released. Oh my god.
Even the first one.
Like I remember. I remember. I think it was the beta when they released it the first time when people were get to play it. They released it for like a week, I think, right?
Yeah, like a closed beta or whatever.
When people were releasing screenshots of what they did in that game, like in terms of they modded it somehow, and I don't know how they modded an alpha or whatever, but
and I'm like, this game looks.
People literally showed me the screenshots. I was like, this is from the movie. Like I was legitimately convinced it was from the movie.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was a screenshot of the movie, a scene from it. They're like, no, that's like in-game render.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Holy damn.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what this game can produce.
For sure. Like the engine they have here is ridiculous. Just EA needs to stop doing stupid stuff.
Like, not letting you test video cards. Like what? Why are you locking me out of the game that I paid for because I choose to use a different video card?
Yeah, that's not even. We're not even gonna get into the loot box thing. We're not even gonna touch that.
No,
we're not even gonna touch that.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
But yeah, anyway. But regardless, basically to sum it all up, you can run this on pretty much anything if you're willing to turn a couple things down, and even if you're not willing to turn things down, you can actually still run it on pretty reasonable hardware.
Yep.
So, which is pretty sweet because you don't see that often these days. You really don't.
No.
But anyway, this is quick PSA. This is super quick. We talked about this before, but StarCraft 2 is now free. Not entirely, but you can go get Wings of Liberty campaign and play that for free now.
Yep.
There's been a whole bunch of updates. They're all kind of listed in here, and of course you can always go look at the patch notes if you really want to dig into it. But
yep. Really, the only things that we were looking for, if you previously owned the games, you get.
They give you some free stuff.
Some skins or something. You get skin and some portraits. So they really didn't give you much for owning it before, but
man, I was saying this right. I remember when Wings of Liberty came out, and
yeah.
I was in I would have been I'm gonna date myself.
Grade 11, I think.
Nah, grade 10, I think.
High school.
I saved up for this. I dropped $110. I got like the super ultimate crazy collector's edition with like the posters, the hardcover strategy guide, the mouse pad,
You still have that mouse pad, don't you?
Oh yeah, I still use that mouse pad, dude.
Yes.
SC2. Oh yeah,
That's epic.
that was my life when it came out.
That's awesome.
But yeah, and now you can go play it for free. Which, if you've never played StarCraft, like, I would highly encourage that you do. And this was from the summer we talked about as well. But StarCraft 1, the original StarCraft, is also free. So if you used to play that back in the day, I'll reiterate, if you want some nostalgia, just go play it, man. It's free and it's fun. And you know what? That you literally can run on anything. Any computer from the last 10 years,
True.
Integrated graphics,
True.
can run StarCraft 1.
There's also one kind of cool thing that I'm noticing here that with the free version, like if you've played before, you know about like the co-op leaders, and they give you slightly different powers depending on which leader you choose. Apparently, all of them are free now.
Oh,
But the paid ones, you can play them up to level 5, so you basically can now try them without actually buying them.
so you get a taste.
So that's kind of cool.
Okay,
at
that's
least
cool.
at least you get, because like they're still the same power. It's just when you level them up, they get more abilities.
Yeah, yeah.
So
they're like, try it out to level 5 if you really like this guy. Throw us a couple bucks.
Yeah, and I think they're like $3 each or something.
That is still way better.
Yeah, but now you can still play as Raynor, Kerrigan, and Artanis,
Cool.
for free and max them out.
Makes sense.
So you can play as the 3 main leaders, and it's still totally fine. But yeah,
Fair. Yeah, man. So yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't played StarCraft 2 yet, go check it out.
definitely,
It is free. You can't.
it's free. Just download it, try
It's
it.
free.
It's fun.
Just go play StarCraft. Just
Yeah,
do it.
like
But yeah. All right. So this is gonna be our last thing for this week, and this was like super nostalgia for me.
We
This
had
is
to throw
so
it in.
awesome, so awesome. You guys, I'm sure if you guys have been in PC gaming for any amount of time, you've heard the saying, "Can it run Crysis?" And for years and years, I mean, still to this day, Crysis 3 is a monster.
true.
And as you guys are about to see, so is Crysis 1, which I know might have you saying, what? But so the 1080p might not be super shocking. So they did this with a bunch of different generations. Like this is the AMD ones. They started with the 3870, which was AMD's top card when Crysis came out. This is where we were at, Josh, at the time. So this is what we were dealing
Oh
with.
my god.
You could not run this max. This is very high.
It was not an option.
And keep in mind, this is not with anti-aliasing. Like, you could not run this game. Like, when I talk about, like, people, like, you know, maxing this game just for the screenshots because it was a slideshow, that's not a joke. Like, you could not run this game.
Actually, a slideshow.
Yeah. So let's scroll down a bit here. Okay, there's the Nvidia cards. And again, so the 8800 GTX, remember I talked about how much faster it was?
It's 17.
Yeah, you can't run it.
Max, though. At 1080p. At that time, 1080p was not as accepted.
True. But again, this is not even with anti-aliasing.
You were pushing it at 1680 by 1050, so.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I was playing 68 by 1050 on like medium.
because like I'd be curious to see what the 720p results are for like an 8800 GTX and stuff. Because I'm sure that's at least within 30 FPS.
Yeah, like that was like playable.
Yeah.
But
Because like
see,
this is not.
I had the 8800 GTS 512 megabyte edition,
I remember that.
which fell. It was maybe just ever so slightly shy of the 800 GTX, or about on par. And I was playing at 1680 by 1050 with. I think I might have been able to pull off like textures high and like smoke, but everything else was on like medium. And I was still like 40, 50-ish. Like playable, but oh yeah, like you could not run this game. So anyway, go check it out. There's more stuff for the 4K results. But basically, if you want to max this game at 4K still, you will need a 1080 Ti, and it's 10 years old. So have fun with that.
Yeah. Max it at 4K, you need 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
Oh my god. For a 10-year-old game, that's insane.
Yeah, it's such a legendary game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was fun to throw that in. But anyway, that's all we had for this week, guys. So as per usual, thanks very much for watching. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Like the video if you liked it. Share it around. Share it everywhere.
Click that
Plaster
subscribe
around the
button.
internet. Subscribe. We do this every week, and there's a lot more videos coming. We actually have a lot of things in the works. I have a couple of very specific, cool, nostalgic projects coming up. So stay tuned. We will be back very shortly, and we'll see you guys back here next week.
Have a good one, guys.